Alrighty, welcome back. I'm your man Bad Chad and Queen Jolene's on the camera. We got Nate in the house. He's down on the brakes. We are on air. Today we're going to cut the top of the door off. And the reason I'm going to cut the top of the door off is because I do not like this stuff. This stuff here is going to be closed off. We're not going to have the glass, side glass in this. It's going to be a roadster for now. Yes, so that's what I'm going to do to match this. And then after this is connected and welded along here, it'll be nice. It'll be nice to be able to paint and finish. Windows going here. I got to figure out where the window goes. On both sides, we'll do the same measurement, but that's what we're going to do. We're going to cut this side here, and we'll put a piece of exhaust pipe in there, and we'll continue on. We got the back piece welded on. It's not finished by no means, but it's welded on. It has to be grounded. Maybe we'll do that at the end. I'm not sure. It depends on how fast I get rocking and rolling here. Glasses and my gloves is first what I need. Thanks for coming back, everybody. Really appreciate it. Nate's on the brakes. Nate, will you tell him what you did with the brakes and show him the brake pads if possible? Or can I get them for you?
I can show you real quick, no problem.
What about the ones that were on it before?
Yeah, I still got them here too. So we were trying to find brakes for the Hudson here, and we didn't have much luck actually finding the proper stuff. But I did some measuring and some looking around, and we got wheel cylinders out of a 79 Ford F100, rear wheel cylinders for the back, and rear shoes, the same size drum, same thickness shoe, and same profile, and they're pretty identical, other than we had to drill a separate hole for one more spring. Other than that, they were the exact same shoe, and the shoe was from an 89 Ford Ranger with 10-inch brakes. And then also from the Ford Ranger, we used a rear spring kit, and there was only one spring that was different in the kit, but for us, our bottom spring was still real good. Nothing wrong with our bottom springs. But there's no emergency brake self-adjusters in these, so they don't have a self-adjuster. And so the drums on these, originally these drums are riveted to the hub, and you have to take the hub off the spline to get your brake drum off. But what I did was, the hubs are on there really good, so I didn't even bother trying to take them off. We ground the rivets off flush, and just back a hair. And then
what'd you say? Flesh?
Flesh. I ground them off flesh.
Flesh.
And then I rounded the edge of the rivet a little bit, so when it does go back on, it still goes back on and it still centers itself, and the rivet is still flush. When you bolt the rim on, there's no head or nothing like when the rivet was there. So the only thing that we couldn't get right off that I had little issue was emergency brake cables, and I got the cables unhooked, but they do make universal emergency brake cables, so we'll get it together and get brakes on it. But the other thing was the rear flex hose. Originally is the same style as a front flex hose with a T, and it bolts onto the top of the housing with the vent bolt, same as anything else, and ended up, I got a 90. We're getting stuff that's easy to get and that they have lots in stock of or whatever like. So we got a 95 Ford F-150 rear flex hose. The bolt's on the exact same size vent hose, bolt, everything as the Hudson. And then we just run our lines to it, and the same bracket on the frame. And the front is a little bit different, but the front still takes the same shoes. The same brake shoes are going to work in the front. And the wheel cylinders hope to use the 65 Ford truck front wheel cylinders. They're the same profile and everything, and the line screws in them the same as the Hudson does. So far it's looking pretty good going along that route so far. Yep, it's coming along.
Do I get a good job, honey? Just joking.
You've always got the good job, Chad.
Yeah. You know something? At the end of the video, if Jolene always says, good job, and that makes me feel good at the end of the video, which is nice to say, good job. When you don't say anything, it's like, what did I do, man? But anyways, I got to get the window figured out. What I'm going to do is, I'm just figuring out the angle of the window, and I'm basically going to stick the angle of the window with, like something like that, I guess. That's what I'm going to go with.
If anybody asks,
yes?
We're not using the hoist today because it was rainy and damp and wet outside this morning.
Well, it is what it is.
We're inside where it's warm.
It was wet this morning. I left the car outside last night, just left the car outside.
It was wet.
It got wet. 1.5 back on that. So we'll go 1.5 inches back on this one. See if it looks the same. And that way there, I'll just know, I'll just mark it. I just want to get an angle. I'm just using the tape for a straight line. That's all I'm doing. Using the tape for a straight line. Let's go back 1.5 inches and see what it looks like. That's what I get it on the other side, 1.5 inches. I want to keep that weld together. I want to put a pocket in there for a window to go in there. So we're going to use I'm thinking exhaust pipe from here back, and then we'll have to fix this area to go there. But I'll have to weld a channel in here to put a window in. I'm just not sure. Why am I not sure? Not sure how the window is going to go into the channel. If you know what I'm trying to. Anyways, that's what I'm going to do. So we're 1.5 inches here. You can see if Jolene wants to come back here, you can see on the this is what you're looking for. This is what I'm looking for. On the top of the door, on this edge, this line right here. If you look at the top of that door, it's straight. Like if you look down that door, that's straight on that edge. So I feel if I cut it off there, I should be able to put a piece of straight exhaust there. If you look at the outside of the door, it's a little thicker here and a little thinner there and a little thinner there. So, but I'm going with the top of the door, so I'm actually going to use a piece of straight exhaust to put in there. So let's cut it off and see what happens. Because I can bend it, because just bang it on the floor. He's making noises, Jolene? Huh? Making noises, is he? It's okay, she said. I'm just going to bring this through this side, and I'm going to gotta be careful, that door will come behind you and shut on you. I know where the line is where I want to cut because I did the back exhaust on the back piece, so I'm just cutting up as far as I got there on the line. Going to take off this sharp stuff. Close to that door handle stuff. Close, but not there. Close. Yeah, I got a piece down there. It's going to be connected. Just want to look. There's a window channel inside here. Window channel. I don't know if that's connected right. Nope. Connected up here, so it's welded on. It's connected here, and there must be a couple spot welds down there. It's connected. I'm going to have to rip them off, or cut them off. Don't need it anymore. Don't need it anymore. Generally, what's good to do is to do one side, figure out how to do it, and then come on and show you how I've done it, you know, and then I can learn from my mistakes. But sometimes I don't get that far. You get to see as I do it the first time. And when I'm doing it the first time, I take all the issues that I had or all the problems that I had. When I go do the second one, I try not to do them, if you know what I'm trying to say, basically. So if something happens on this one, for next one, I'll try to remember. I'm going to cut it down this straight line. We'll still have this little bit of shape to the door, and we'll have the same thing on the inside, just that it'll be nice and round. to sit in there, no problem. Let's get a piece of exhaust that's going to fit that. So I'm using 2.5, and the reason I'm using, I think 2.5 or 2 3/4, because I measured, I don't have a measuring tape, but I measured on this. So I'm using, I'm not sure what I'm using, 2.5 or 2 3/4. But when I measured from the outside to, I think I'm using 2.5 to the inside, what it looked like, it was 2.5. So basically that's the size of exhaust I went for. I took a measurement, I went like this, I went like that, and yep, 2.5. So now I've still got 2.5. That's how I did it. So let's take a measurement of this. Let's shut this for a second. I want to figure out one piece of exhaust from there to the other one. So we want 24.5. 24.5, 24.5. 24.5. 24.5. Got a piece over here. Pull the old. So the old brakes, I guess, are still out there. You can still get them, you know, still repair them. You just have to figure out, you know, Nathan's been through the old Ford brake system probably 100 times, 1,000 times, that he knew that something like that would work. So I guess, yeah, it's kind of
measuring, right? It took some measuring, and after finding what size these drums were, it first went off, and then went from there. Right? Yeah, they're good in here.
yes, 24 and a little bit more. 24. 24 and 5/8. Let's cut a piece off. I'm going to cut a piece off with no sticker. Now what I'm kind of wondering is, when I come up on the inside where I've cut it off, I'm kind of wondering if I should cap it and then throw it in. I'm going to cut it off first. We'll throw it in there, see what it looks like. Get it setting. Some of this pipe you can get, it's got a galvanized coating on it, and it's hard to weld. Some of it, not all of it, some of it. So now, it looks like I cut too much off the bottom of the door. That's what it looks like. Yeah, sure does. To be honest with you, I would say that needs, I cut that off, and I should have not cut it off there. That's okay. And the reason it's okay is because I can weld it back on. Right? That's why it's okay. That's why it's okay. Now, it's not out far enough here. Like if I'm looking at here, come see this right here? See that? See how it's not out far enough there? My exhaust pipe? Bring my exhaust pipe out further. Then it has to go up further. I don't want it up further, I don't think. I wanted to leave that where it was. Maybe I need a piece that's bent. No, because it would still bring it out further. Just want to look at it for a minute. Also, I don't like what I got going on either. It's because this is another thing I don't like what's going on. This here, I should run that exhaust pipe all the way up to the front. And the reason I should run that all the way up to the front is because it doesn't end well up here. Like the exhaust pipe cut off right there, it doesn't end well. I've obviously got a little too much cut off. I should have went up a little bit higher and it would have laid right on there nicely. That's hindsight. That's hindsight. If you come over this way and take a look. If I would have left, you can see, see how much we're down there a little bit. If I would have left it about here somewhere, left this piece on, cut that about here somewhere, and then it could have welded all the way along that exhaust pipe, would have finished it. But I like this round look. I'm going to try something else. I'm going to do this just for shits and giggles. Now, just going to get a bigger piece of pipe, see what happens. It looks good down this way. Got the same look as it had before. What size is this? It's an awful big top of the door, but let's face it. Pull this off. Now see, if I would have done it the first time, I would have used the right size pipe and went for it, but I did not do that. I get to show you exactly what happens sometimes. I was convinced that it worked on this one because I cut this one off right at the bottom of that line. Well, that doesn't work on the door. Now, there's our fix. A bigger piece of pipe. And I think I would take it right to the front. That fits in there so nice that way that I would be happy with that. I could weld that to there. It would be a nice part to the top of the door. It's not going in any further than it should be. It's just that it's going in far enough that it's doing the job. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to take a look and see if I've got a piece a little longer. At least I can get one piece in. But that's the piece to use right there. We'll weld that in there nice. Hold that up tight. Give me a nice... Perfect. I'm just going to take a run outdoors for a second. Are you coming with me, sweetheart? You're coming with me. I've got nothing in there right now. I like using exhaust like that because it does the job quickly. And you would get no more strength than that on the top of a door than... Oh, look at that, would you? Awesome. That's, one end is bent up a little bit, but I think I can get two doors of them. Well, I don't know. We'll see what happens. That makes me happy. And this would be the galvanized coating stuff, obviously. It's not rusting. Jolene first. Come on in. It's an awful junk of tube, I can tell you that. It's heavy. It's heavy. Heavy. It's going to give that door a pile of strength. We're only going to get one. That's fine. That's fine. If I can weld that one to this one, I would. See what happens. Let me see what's going on here. Now, I have to take a look at something here first. I just thought it would be easier to put that exhaust in there. You have to remember, we're taking away the glass. We're taking away out the window winder and all that sort of stuff. We're leaving the door opener and that stuff. So if we're putting this in, I don't feel like we're gaining or losing much weight. We're actually probably replacing the glass with the heft of the exhaust pipe. But I'm looking at what I'm looking at. I'm looking at this side of the door, how it comes down round. You can bring a nice finish your trim up to the bottom of that, and that would be the end of it. And if I took this piece, all I'm doing is thinking it over in my own brain. I'm just thinking it over. If I have this door here, it's like how it's original. If I made a piece of metal that came over round, it really wouldn't be round, no doubt in my mind. It'd be welded on this side and the top side. You know, this here, I guess, I'm not sure what I'm thinking, to be honest with you. I like that this piece holds the door together. I know that. I really didn't want to tear the door apart and do that if I can muster something up there. What I might do, this is what I probably will do. When the door's shut, how does... Like that's almost, that's just sitting in place. Like that's kind of too perfect, you ask me. Like, I gotta take a look. I gotta take a look. Like it's no further than it was before, I don't think. 2.5 was the one. Even if it is out further, it doesn't matter. Look out! Nathan's trying to do it without the right tools.
Right? That's how it goes. That happens. Okay.
Yeah. Alrighty. I have to make up my mind. It's just that I cut that door off. I guess basically I was just trying to get rid of this and put one piece in, which I've got over there. It does look bigger than this piece, does it not? Like in the back, like when that comes down around, it does look bigger. But then again, like...
I don't think you'll notice it when you have your
No.
door panel.
And this here, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to come to here, but I'm going to continue this exhaust here up through here. But I'm going to cut it to fit to weld onto it. If you know what I'm saying, I'm going to bring it and continue it up so it got that round up to here. I'm not sure. Not sure. Not sure. All right, let's do it. Cut it. Size is that 24. Where's the piece that I took out of it? Right there. One first. I do have enough for both. And then I'll split that one piece to do the front. That's not my piece, is it? Come on. Are you serious? Cut that shy? Cut that shy, I did. I'm gonna add a piece to it, I guess. be honest with you, that's not the piece that should be in there. It's up too high. Is it not? No. I don't like it. Or do I? I guess that's no. It's kind of turned down there. It just rolls over. Huh? I have to add a piece at either end, so. I think I'll add a piece of this end because I can weld more of it on. Yeah, I can't say any more than that. I guess that fits. Let's make it fit. I'm gonna cut another little piece off of this. Well, this one here is almost. I'll bend on the end a little bit. I'll have to straighten that out. I'll keep that. So I guess I'm gonna cut a little bit off this one. And I can cut that in half. Awesome, this is what's gonna happen here. I'll cut this in half. I could cut that in half and do one. But we'll half do it. If you know what I'm trying to tell you. We'll half if I half that up, will it do it? I think it will. First, you're gonna make it long enough. Let's make another little cut. It would give it less weight, and I think it would still work. I think I'm gonna half it up. Let's weld it on now, so I don't have to do that. Weld that back on there. I can sand or whatever I have to do. I just need that length. On this pipe, I'm going to grind the galvanized on it because it welds better. Turn the welder on. Sometimes it takes a little bit to get rocking and rolling, and the reason it's taking a little time to get rocking and rolling is because I'm not sure where I'm going. Now, if I knew where I was going when we first started, it may be a little bit different. Might. Doug was here earlier this morning, did help me out. I'll take you to the shop and probably show you. There's a bonus video later on for tonight. I need an earth. It will not weld without the earth. I'm just going to put it on like so. Yeah, shit. We won't do that. We'll stick it on there. And we'll push down to the top. Push that down there like that. It had quite a gap, but you know what? I didn't mind it. I was going to take the zip cut and run around it anyways and put a little gap in it. spot. Nope. No way. No way, Jose. Put a little gap in it, then we'll weld it. Weld some on this side, put a gap on that side. Just weld a little bit of it up. That way there, when I weld it up, I can flush it off. Now let's half it up. What I mean by half it up, I'm going to cut it in half. That way there, I think I can save on weight. And I can get both sides of the one piece. And then I have another piece to do up front, where I'm going to just cap it instead of cutting it apart. I don't want to cut this stuff apart right here, where it's got the connected together. I'm going to do this part, that's fine, but I don't want to cut that part. So I'll add the extra steel up in here, however I want the shape of the door after. That's what I'm thinking. So I'm going to pick a line on this bad boy. I'm going to pick this one. And then I'm going to go to the other side. I'm going to pick this one. Let's cut it in half. What's that? I wonder if I should weld that up before I... Let's cut it. Let's cut it. Little blades, I like the gold ones. I like the gold ones from the dollar store that cost $2. That's the ones I like. Right with you. Gotta get some. Gotta get some. Gotta get some. New pack. What's it doing outside, Nate?
It's raining.
Raining again. That's why we're both inside today. It's raining.
Every time I get wood, it rains.
Nathan got his first load of wood, and he said all it does is rain. So he can't get his wood inside until it, until the weather's good, and then you throw your wood in. But if it keeps raining, well, your wood stays wet, right? And you're not a happy camper when it comes wintertime, and you're trying to light a quick fire. Nathan's. I think I'm getting close to being done with wood. I'm getting close. I hope this works. one hefty piece of pipe. That would probably be almost, it's almost 1/8 plate, almost. Almost. Not saying it is, but it's close. And that's a good thing for, you know, putting exhaust on your car, obviously. But that's just telling you how strong of stuff we're using. I'm not bending it or applying it in any way or form. I'm just kind of putting it in straight and making it for a shape. Now, what shape did it take when it got cut in half? It looks pretty good and straight, to be honest with you. I'll show you this in. Looks pretty good and straight, to be honest with you. Not bad. Now, let's see if it's going to work. I'll use the welded in at this end because I can weld it up after. For one thing, it's not sitting in there as easy as it was before. Stop it, stop it. Get a little bit. Oh, wow. That butt weld's right on the top of that. Crazy. Crazy. See how that butt weld's on the top of that? So we'll just cut that and butt weld that on there. That's crazy. All right. I don't know if you can tell that or not. I sure can, and I'm going to get the welder and tack it on. You can see it's butt welded right on. I'll just tack it in place. We're in the same vicinity here. See this? What's going on here? See that? That's what we need for there. We want that in the same vicinity. This is up, needs to come up a little bit by the looks of things. I could probably push, I can actually push up a little bit. This is down a little tiny bit. Now let's tack that on. I haven't got anything really cleaned up. I'm gonna have to clean that up a little bit, probably, no doubt in my mind. On the metal of the door, I gotta clean that up. We'll just take the zip cut and do it gently, gently. Good, it worked out after a while. Like, we're not putting a great big, that great big hunk of exhaust in there, you know, by itself. It's working out, halving it up. It's working out where I cut it off. Just gonna come in here and clean some paint off so we can weld it up. So this, wow, let's get that stuck in there. It fits in there so good. Come on. Right there. That's my baby. You turn on the welder.
See that there, Ted? Factory Hudson bolt that one?
Yeah.
Exact same size as that 95 Ford. Dogs too, exact same length.
Wow.
For the rear cup stand, yeah? That's not making it work. But it worked a little hard.
I have to hold that there. Stop it. It's in there before. It's going in there again. Stop it. Take a second, take a breather. Drop right in there, see that? Yeah, drop right in there. Stay up in there. See what we got? Stop it. It's in there before. We're in there tight, that's for sure.
Do you want a magnet?
What's that, sweetheart?
Do you want a magnet to hold it?
No, it's just not. I'll just take a little bit off that edge. Didn't want to have to do anything to it, but. There we go. There we go. Oh. Now, I want the same height. And I want the same. This one up here. I think I want to deal with this first. That one will stay, that's all. So. You know what? Stay like that until I get this dealt with. I don't want that far one in further, if you know what I'm trying to tell you. I'm just going to do this. Nail. No. Just going to nail it on the center. Something to hold it. That's all it's doing is holding it. I just want to play this a little bit down here, so hold it. And I want the same height, and I want the same distance in. That's what I want. I'll take the grinder and hit the edge of the exhaust pipe here. The reason being is, see, I got this going right and I got this going right. That's all I'm really concerned about right at the present moment. And I get down this end, I can pry it up with a screwdriver. We're not too far away. All the distance that I can get in there, the better. And the reason all the better is because, the reason all the better. Now, what I want to do is I want to get this front lifted up here, or down here a little bit. It looks like it's going down, or, I'm going to take a screwdriver and pry that up a little bit. Now, do I want that out some or in some? I want out some and in some. Should have it. good. I'm feeling like when that's welded and ground, it'll be nice. Like that's pretty well butt welded right there. It's hard, so hard to believe. Come take a look. Where I cut that exhaust in half. That's pretty well butt welded right there. You can see right there. I'm just going together. Just gonna knock this on. Now I'm just going to stand back and take a look. That's all I can do now. Stand back and take a look. I'm glad I cut it in half because one half, well, that'll do the other side. I'll have enough. Yeah, it looks good down this way, doesn't it? Looks perfect. Down this side. Just a matter of pushing that in. Alrighty, that's what I'm going to do on that side, obviously. If I would have done that first, I probably would have had it cut and all that stuff ready to rock and roll. We could have cut in the right spot. Now that we have this area that area there is down a little bit further than that. We'll see what happens there. Also, the interior on the back is going to be a continuation of the front, obviously. But I'm cut down in there. That's the top. I've cut right on that line. So I guess I'm beating myself up because it looks like a big roll there. But in all honesty, that's where their roll is, right to there. And up over is what I would have had to fix. Now that I've got it on there, it looks bigger, but that's what it is. We'll see what happens on here if I'm going to take a piece of this pipe and whether I'm going to cut it and half it up and bring it to the front and run it to the dash. You know, it can end at the dash part so it looks good. You know, whether it comes up to the dash and cuts off on an angle, whatever. Alrighty, what time is it? 49. Let's go this way for a second. Come take a look. Nate was explaining how the bolt that holds on the flex line is even the exact same size as the Ford Ranger.
So the only thing I had to change in the flex line on the frame bracket, it had a regular round hole on it, and the Ford one comes with 4 notches on the side of the thing. I ground 3 of them off, and that's printed the exact same size. Now I'm just going to take a V file and put the one groove in the bracket that's here, then it won't turn into nothing in the bracket. That's where I'm at right now with it. Yep.
Nice! Let's go this way. I'll show you what me and Doug were doing this morning. Got the frame flipped upside down. There's a few things that I'm trying to get done. I see we have company. Hup and Liz, their brand new Toyota. This building's been on the property since I bought it. It was where he had his pigs, and it had an old metal building on the front of it. I ended up tearing the metal building off the front of it. I just put a face on the front of it to make it look like an old garage, but basically it was an old pig barn. He had, I took out the center beams, and now I'm just fixing up, me and Doug are just fixing up the back. It's kind of sinking in the ground, so what we done is we jacked it up a little bit. We put some new treated lumber posts in, and now I'm just going to board it in so it looks pretty decent. It's going to clean it up and make something we can put a car in here or whatever, just clean it up a little bit. But that's what me and Doug are doing during the day. So when I come in on the car, it's hard to get my brain right in action where I'm going, but I'm used to it. I want to thank everybody for coming back. Really appreciate it. Subscribe, like, share, comment. Come back tomorrow. There's a bonus show on tonight on Jolene's station. And take a boo at that because it more or less shows you what we're doing. Come back tomorrow and we'll do it again.